How did Judas Iscariot died? Okay, in Matthew it says, in Matthew 27 verse 5 it says, and he cast down the pieces of silver in the temple and departed and went and hanged himself. So it says here that he hanged himself. In Acts chapter 1 verse 18 it says, now this man purchased a field with the reward of iniquity, and falling headlong he burst asunder in the midst, and all his bowels gushed out. Okay, it says here that falling headlong. Okay, supposing that these words falling headlong doesn't mean he hanged himself. That is, if the words falling headlong, it is not another way of saying he hanged himself. Let's suppose that these words falling headlong means that his head hits the ground, like in this example. Okay, here it is my theory, or what I believe, or what I think it happened. Okay, Judas hanged himself in this tree. Okay, this tree is, in this example, in the border of a mountain or a hill. Okay, so he hanged himself in this branch of this tree. Okay, the thing is that his body, the weight of his body, made this branch to be broken, or the cord he used to hang himself, or the piece of cloth, or whatever he used to hang himself, it broke. The weight of his body made this to be broken. So he falls, and his body hits this, if you will, a rock in the border of the mountain or whatever, and his body hits this thing and made his body to turn into a position where now his head is down and his legs are up. So he fall into the ground, and the first thing of his body that touched the ground was his head. Okay, and then his bowels gushed out, his internal organs went out from his body. Okay, he was probably in a very high place, in a very high place, so that his body, when his body hits the ground, his internal organs went out from him, because he was in a very high place. Okay, but it doesn't matter if he was in a very high place, because if there is something sharp in the ground, like a rock that is sharp, or pieces of metals in the ground that are sharp, it made his body to be broken, and his internal organs went out from him. Okay, I put this example of a tree in a mountain, but it doesn't need to be a tree in a mountain. For example, he probably hanged himself in a building, like in this example, and well, the same thing like the other sample, or maybe in a very high tree, like this one, for example. And as you know, as I have taught early, well, that was the same thing that happened in this other example.